I'm Gerald Bentley. We are here on a special wrestling spotlight interview. We're promoting, you see it up behind me, Major League Wrestling's big event. It's coming up Saturday, February 3rd at the historic 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. Our guest, Davey Boy Smith Jr., is representing the WTF, working with the legitimate promoter, Mr. St. Laurent, going up against One Called Manders, and they're saying it's a Haas fight. And Davey, I think that's a little bit misleading because with Manders, yeah, you're going to get kicks, stomps, clotheslines, some Bud Lights maybe. You're a highly trained technical wrestler as well.
Oh, yeah, certainly. And, under the tutelage of the greats like Billy Robinson and Josh Barnett, and I've done a fair bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I believe that my submission wrestling skill is at a elite level, and my power level is up there. I'd be one of the strongest wrestlers going. So, and under the tutelage with Mr. St. Laurent and my comeback to Major League Wrestling after my appendix surgery and diverticulosis. Sky's the limit, and me and MSL we're on a rocket ship there.
Yeah, it's great to see you back in Major League Wrestling. You have such a history with the organization. You've won the Opera Cup award super close to your family a couple of times, and you were a member of the new Hart Foundation in the Major League Wrestling. What brought you back to MLW?
Well, there was a lot of unfinished business. I was on a real roll with momentum, and then the pandemic unfortunately happened with being a singles competitor, and then that happened. But then I came back, and then we were on a roll again, and then I had my appendix issue, and diverticulosis, which was unfortunate, but we're just going to start where we left off, and I'll just put it as stubbed my toe twice, and it won't happen a third time. And I'm very excited with Major League Wrestling's, latest accomplishments, and bringing a lot of the foreign Japanese superstars from New Japan Pro Wrestling and people from from Mexico as well.
Sure.
And, Major League Wrestling, I've always considered my home. It's the very first show that I debut for a pro wrestling event in the United States was with Major League Wrestling.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Long time, very good, close relationship with Court Bauer and Mr. St. Laurent, and always had a strong bond and connection through that. And I'm very appreciative of all the opportunities that Court Bauer has presented me, and we're starting off a new year, 2024, and I really want to make this, a big year for me, and Major League Wrestling's the outlet to do it.
Absolutely. Here, let's put the match graphic up there just so everybody can see it. Saturday, February 3rd in Philadelphia. You can still get tickets at MLW2300.com. It's the arena where all of those great, insane matches happened in Philadelphia. Back with the organization that went away, the Extreme Championship Wrestling. So that DNA is in there. And Dave, what I wanted to ask you about, because you've competed on the absolute highest levels across the world, we got the super fight coming up. It's a big event. It's a signature event. How does that elevate the performance? Because we just saw the NFL championship game week heading up to their super event coming up the week after. As a competitor, what does it do for you to be in an event like this, be on the big stage?
Well, are you talking about San Francisco winning last night?
Yeah. Well, I'm in Kansas City, so Kansas City and San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I predicted San Francisco was going to win by 3 points, and they were going to make a wrestling comeback after the second half.
Oh, they did.
I mean, I won a bet, actually. I predicted it. So that prediction coming true, I predict that you're looking at the future Major League Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. And not only that, I'm a tag team specialist, and Mr. St. Laurent and myself, we've had our eyes on some other talent in Major League Wrestling, and we're looking to take over the tag team division as well. And the 2300 arena is very nostalgic with the ECW in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's really a huge honor and always really super cool and special for me to wrestle at that arena. I used to watch ECW
Sure.
Friday night TNN before when I was just a teenager, and there I'm wrestling there years later. So definitely has a great feel to it. I'm not a huge fan of the Philadelphia fans, but I do appreciate them coming. They just don't see things like Mr. St. Laurent and I do. Hey.
Yeah, well, St. Laurent, he told me he wants to raise the level of professional wrestling, and yeah,
Oh,
it's a good
yeah,
start.
we're raising the standards
Yeah,
to
because I know your ring entrance gear made out of the finest silk in Japan is something that's going to definitely raise the level up versus Manders' leather vest.
Oh, well, absolutely. But hey, I'm not taking Manders lightly at all. I know he's very dangerous, and
Tag champion.
yeah, and he's a little unorthodox, but that can be a danger too, because you don't know what to expect, and he's going to be a bit wild in there. But I'm going to have to do everything that I can to stay focused. And hey, I know he's a cheater, and I got MSL, Mr. St. Laurent, to watch my back in case
True.
if he tries to pull any kids with his partners.
Well, and then the other half of the MLW tag champions, Matthew Justice, going up against Filthy Tom Lawler, along with Mr. St. Laurent as well. So, like you said, kind of setting up that challenge for the tag team titles.
Oh yeah, certainly. And Filthy Tom Lawler, he's a top-notch professional athlete himself, and he's had a lot of cage time, and a guy that I've respected, and hey, he's smart. He's come under the leadership of Mr. St. Laurent as well. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Very true. Now, there is one person who has deep connections to you. You talked about bringing in those stars from Japan, and I noticed at the next event, not to jump past Super Fight, but one of the all-time legends of Japanese wrestling, maybe the most intimidating person in the sport, Suzuki-gun, Minoru
Yeah.
Suzuki, come in for intimidation games. What does it mean to have somebody like Minoru Suzuki coming in, and what does he kind of represent to wrestling?
Yeah, Minoru Suzuki is he's like a fine wine. He gets better with time, and at his age to be able to compete at the level that he does still is really quite remarkable. And Mr. Suzuki-san is somebody that I've gotten to learn and train with and grow and develop under during my time with New Japan Pro Wrestling with the Suzuki-gun group. We had a lot of huge success over there in Japan. And like I said, Major League Wrestling is bringing over some of the top talents, Minoru Suzuki being one of them. And, he's been in there and he's fought with some of the best like Ken Shamrock and
Sure.
Masakatsu Naki. And he's also, climbed the mountaintop of New Japan Pro Wrestling and main evented with superstars like Hiroshi Tanahashi and Okada. So he's got a world of knowledge and experience behind him. And that just goes to show that the talent and the competition at Major League Wrestling is at an elite level. And it'll be great to see Mr. Suzuki-san in a Major League Wrestling event. Unfortunately, I was supposed to see him last, I think it was October, and I had my issue with my appendix. But
Yeah.
from what I understand, he's very excited to come back to the United States for Major League Wrestling as well. And it'll be great to have him on board. And hey, you never know, maybe Mr. St. Laurent and I, we can somewhat coax him to join, hop on board with us.
Sure. And another Japanese legend going to be on this card, and maybe your future opponent, the MLW World Heavyweight title, Alex Kane and the Bumaye Fight Club. They are going up against Kojima with the Killer Lariat. what can fans expect to see from Kojima? I mean, he is a legend of Japanese wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. And, Kojima's a competitor that I've spent quite a bit of time, ring and mat time with, live with Archer and myself teaming up with, to face off with Ten Koji. And one of my favorite matches I've had with in Japan and just overall was the G1 Climax 2013 match with
Oh, sure.
where I was successful in beating Satoshi Kojima in Osaka, Japan. And the finishing sequence, I just missed his lariat. Like I literally felt his arm pass
Graze your
through,
hair.
and I caught him with a big boot, and I hit him with a running knee, and then it was a Liger bomb. But it was one of my favorite finishing sequences of any pro wrestling match. Like if you were able to watch it, the 2014 one was good also, but I don't think I came on the. I was on the short end of the stick in that one. I didn't win, so I didn't like it. But no,
he could easily win this match.
And it was in front of a live hot crowd in Osaka, Japan. I mean, it's just it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
But he's a guy when I go in the ring with, I know that he's always going to bring it. And again, with his age, for him to be competing at the level he's at is just is really quite is remarkable as well. And whether it's him that is victorious or Alex Kane, I'm going to be looking at whoever the winner is there.
And of course, focusing in again on this week coming up, One Called Manders and Davey Boy Smith Jr., our guest, along with Mr. St. Laurent. They're going at it at MLW Superfight this Saturday, February 3rd in Philadelphia. Check out MLW2300.com to get information on tickets, and you can watch it on Triller TV. We'll also have a few other competitors from Superfight here on Wrestling Spotlight. I just wanted to ask you a few quick championship round questions as we wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
How about your most inspirational wrestlers to you in your career? I mean, you have a ton just in your family to pick from.
Oh yeah, for sure. Minoru Suzuki, he would rank up there. I got to learn from him, and he's just showed me that age doesn't, like I like to say, age doesn't dictate health, function does. And his work ethic is astonishing and remarkable and very inspiring also. So you just have to push through it every day and try to be stronger and better. That, like you were saying about Kaizen earlier on.
Yeah, Kaizen, continuous improvement.
And of course, my father and Uncle Brett Nolan and Dynamite Kid and Uncle Jim. But there was tons of Japanese superstars like Jumbo Tsuruta, Mizawa, Kobashi, Masakatsu Funaki, Hiroshi Hase, who not only inside of the ring but outside of the ring, with being I believe a senator and very high up in politics, and Inoki-san, God rest his soul. Obviously, very influential people to look up to and aspire to. So all of those names, and then there will be plenty of other ones too that I'm. But
those are great answers, because there's definitely that community and that family feel that you see. It's interesting when you look at bios, try to read the bios of everyone I interview. And when you read the bios, you can see those interconnecting threads. Just like when you're watching a football game and they talk about the coaching tree, you can see that family tree of the wrestlers that just feeds right in. So it really is impressive to see that community.
Absolutely. And I guess I'll mention him, but even though not for pro wrestling, but Master Hicks and Gracie too.
Sure. Well, fighting style. How about this? MLW, it's a fusion style.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about MLW? Because you see a little bit of every style. You see the Japanese strong style. You see catch as catch can. You see the lucha style, and it's all influenced and brought together on MLW cards.
And you see Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Absolutely.
Yeah, continue. Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it's huge that they do that.
Thank you. You know, I believe that wrestling has something for every fan out there and has something for everybody. And like I said, they're bringing over top tier talents from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Although Minoru Suzuki, I guess he's technically considered a freelancer in Japan now. But that being said, regardless, you know, there's top talents like him. You know, you have myself. There's like Filthy Tom Lawler. You know, Alex Kane, although I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, he's a great competitor as well. And, you know, tons of other superstars from Mexico. So, you know, there's a good blend of every wrestling fan's needs. And like I said, the competition is really hot right now in Major League Wrestling. And very excited to see what 2024 brings along. And I'm pumped and I'm ready and gonna come after it head on.
Absolutely. Well, and Davey, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us here on Wrestling Spotlight, and wish you the best of luck in the match. Not that you need it, because you have Mr. St. Laurent on the outside. Although Manders is a skilled competitor, I've seen him in the ring personally multiple times. He can definitely go. So it should be an entertaining match for everybody watching on Triller TV or in person at the 2300 Arena. Anything you want to say to Manders before we step out?
Well, I know that he's going to bring his all, and I'm going to bring my all. And hey, may the best man win. But hey, if you don't got it, get it, and if you don't get it, figure it out. And he's going to figure it out. February 3rd, 300 Arena, Major League Wrestling, MLW.com.
There you go.
Right here. Big W.
And then potentially your next tag team or world champion in MLW, Davey Boy Smith Jr. joining us here on Wrestling Spotlight. Stay tuned for more as we're previewing Superfight here on the channel. Major League Wrestling's big event coming up Saturday, February 3rd. Thanks.